This podcast is brought to you by Perazzi, world-renowned for precision, craftsmanship, and performance.
Yes, here we are, back in Italy. Look at that. Welcome back to another episode of the NIOA Unloaded Podcast. Now, Keith and Trevor, they've just returned from Italy, and no, unfortunately, they did not bring us back any wine, pasta, or gelato, Brad.
No.
But what they did bring back is something even better. A week's worth of knowledge, stories, and insider secrets from one of the most legendary shotgun makers in the world, Perazzi. So today we'll be diving into what they learned, what they saw, and most importantly, why Perazzi shotguns have such a reputation for excellence. Keith and Trev, welcome to the NIOA Unloaded Podcast.
Thanks,
Ciao.
Nice
Ciao. I'm in the mood now. I feel like a nice veto.
And you only took us to Burger Urge for lunch. Where was the Italian?
Yeah, there's no Italian. So tell us, boys, did you brush up on your Italian before you headed over?
See.
Yeah, 2 words.
I think that means,
Two words. That's all I've got.
Yes.
Yeah, Trev had to carry me there. I was pretty much Australian the whole time.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, but still, you've got to look like the odd one out.
Correct.
But
No, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough. Look, I can't go on any further with it. Joining me, as always, is our co-host. All right. And I mean, if calories were euros, this man would be a millionaire. Would you please welcome Mr. Brad Johnson?
Thank you, Matthew. But look, all I can say is, at least I wasn't in danger of being thrown in the pot and cooked up over their spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti. That's not bad. That's not bad. No, so what was, gentlemen, look, tell us how this all sort of come about. So obviously, NIOA, we've got the Perazzi distribution here in Australia and New Zealand. So Keithy, you are now our Perazzi
sales manager.
the head sales manager. Now, for those that don't know, Keithy was actually in charge of our armory, wasn't he, Brad?
Yep. Australia's most lovable gunsmith.
There you go. And now he's Australia's most lovable Perazzi sales manager.
Correct.
And of course, joining us here, we've got Trevor.
Well, now Trev is the new NIOA's most lovable gunsmith.
There you go.
There you go.
So, and he works in the armory now full time. So, Trev, you and Keith got the chance to go over and learn all the tricks of the trade.
Pretty much. Yep.
Amazing
Wow.
opportunity.
So, how's the trip over?
Long.
It was a
Pretty
long
rough.
flight over.
Pretty rough. Yeah, pretty rough to be
So,
honest.
how many hours all up?
32 odd hours over, I think.
First class, though, made it easy.
Was it
for us.
first class?
It would have been, surely.
Surely. You can't send the top Perazzi.
You can't send them over, cattle.
No, you're right. But guys, look, first impression. So you landed in Italy. What happened?
Well, it was pretty rough when we first got to Italy. It was pretty late at night. We were juggling where we're supposed to be at the airport, trying to find a way to get to our hotel and mucking around. But we got there in the end, and we were all pretty knackered. It was a big flight. We hadn't had a lot of rest. We were pretty keen to get to Perazzi and see what was going on. So we were just happy to find our hotel in the bustling traffic of Milano.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I think Keith tried to use his Italian on the local cab drivers at the airport.
Didn't you get a hire card? Did I hear that?
Yeah, not till the next day.
Next day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when things started.
Really got exciting.
We were in more control then. Yeah. Well, some would
Control's a loose term.
Some might disagree, but yeah. But no, the first night we were basically just trying to get to our hotel. But it's a pretty busy sector there at the Milano airport, so we were running around and we got we jumped on a bus and it got us to our hotel straight down the road. It was actually, we could have walked there, but we made a hell of an effort out of it. So yeah, the next morning we had a good brekkie. We had an Italian breakfast.
What constitutes an Italian breakfast?
Eating
Cold
breakfast.
cuts.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Bread.
Now, you-
Cheese.
I've been
a lot of
to
cheese.
Italy, yeah.
What were you doing over in Italy?
I was holidaying, but I didn't go with these guys.
No, I understand
but I've
that.
been to Italy before,
I
mate. I spent 3 weeks in Italy.
I just don't understand on your pay how you're getting over to Italy.
Well, that is true. I wasn't working here at the time, though.
Oh, no, fair enough.
Yeah, so it was mainly cold cut meats.
Yes, cold cut meat.
Cheeses,
Baguettes.
breads, coffee.
Coffee. Yeah.
So, look, day one, you've been able to get yourself a bit of brekkie. Is it straight to the Perazzi factory, or did you have any sort of time, to acclimatise or anything like that?
It was a matter of getting the car and then doing a few laps of the airport, working out how to get out of there.
Who's driving?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Oh,
Wrong side of the car, wrong side of the road. It was.
How did you go, mate? How did you go? Was it?
Did you get a big like American Chevy or something? What's their equivalent in
It
Italy?
was a Ford Mondeo. I think I'm
so
still
something small.
I think I'm still
So something
picking
that a truck
bits
could
of
run over.
Still cramped.
cloth out, from the trip. But yeah,
No, it was just a little station wagon, but it did all right. The speed limits are pretty
They don't
loose
have
over
one?
there.
Yeah.
Well, they do. It's 130 kilometres an hour, and that thing sat on that, no
More
trouble.
of a guide, though, isn't it?
wow.
they should
Yeah.
save a bit of money though and remove indicators. They don't.
They don't tell
They don't
you.
believe
Yeah.
No, don't believe in them. Yeah.
It's funny. Must be a big Italian population up in North Lakes then. They don't seem to use them there all that much either.
Big shout out to everybody in North Lakes, by the way.
Oh, dear. Listen, by the way, look, many thanks. We knew you guys were going away. We've actually had a fair few people leave some messages on the NIOA Unloaded message machine because you've been away and stuff. So we'll throughout the whatever, we should probably just check on, see if we've got any message. Josh, do we have any? Oh, mate, send it through.
Hi, you've reached the NIOA Unloaded Podcast. Please leave a message after the beep.
Ciao, this is Officer Renzo from the Botticini Police. Italia, I'm calling about the Signor Keith Grundy. We have the footage of you driving on the wrong side of the road from the aeroporto. This is not Roma, Signor Keith. We ask you please not to drive on the footpath. You must call us back. You have many euro to pay. And you call us before we call your mama.
Not the mama.
She was exciting there.
Yeah, well, there was a lot more room on the footpath than there was on the road. Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, well. And did you eventually work it out?
Yeah. Look,
It's funny, when I was in Italy, right? I was in an airport transfer from the airport. We were going down the highway and we weren't going fast enough. I don't know what we were doing, 130, 140, but they were overtaking us
Yeah.
on the nature strip. They were just pulling out down the grass, back in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were.
So it was just one lane.
No, it was like a 3-lane highway. But there was 3 cars. He just pulled out there and went down past the guidepost.
Good grief.
Wacko, yep.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty standard.
They are, wow.
yeah, they do. They fly along. We were sort of going, the dashboard's telling me, the speed limit's such and such. And I said, Trev, you can't just check for a
can't do
sign.
that. No.
Because
You
I'm
get
sure
run
that's
over.
not the speed limit. Look at these things
You get
flying
run
past
over,
us.
yeah.
They must have been doing 200 odd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Standing still at 130.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, look, the drive was pretty good. We had a little bit of trouble at some of the little pay terminals. They were interesting. I had to press the button and try and talk to him in Australia. I said, hey, sorry, I've gone through. I've got the wrong bloody thing. And you just hear, bah, 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 bah. And I'm like, oh, no, what does that mean? Boom gate opens. It's like another bloody Australian. Let him through.
Welcome to Italy.
Yeah.
All right. So you finally got to your hotel. Hotel all right?
Yeah, awesome.
Hotel was amazing.
Okay.
It was a palace, this place, and it was quite literally a palace. When you come down the driveway, it was like, whoa, look at this joint. Is this you fair dinkum? It was a big U-shaped building. It had been there since the 1400s or something.
Grand Villa. Ferret, yeah.
So the plumbing wouldn't have been great.
Ferranoli or something like that. But yeah, look, it was a beautiful place. It really was.
544 years old, the grounds.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Trev's telling me all the history of it. Such and such sat in this room and such,
Napoleon was there.
Wow.
Occupied by the
didn't bump into
Germans.
him.
No. Fair enough.
But yeah, it was an amazing place, and so much history there. It was a pretty cool sort of place to stay at. And we bumped into so many shooters there because it's kind of in the hub of the gun makers in Italy. We bumped into competitive police shooters from the States. We bumped into all sorts of different shooters that had visited the Perazzi factory while we were there, and
Because they get a lot of Olympic shooters and all those sort of stuff turning up
Absolutely,
there as well, don't
yeah.
they? No, that's incredible. Okay, well, look, day one and you're off to the Perazzi factory. Take us through it.
Yeah, well, it was literally 2 minutes up the road, thankfully, because Trev was pretty sick of driving at
It
that
felt
stage.
like a lifetime.
Yeah.
But 2 minutes up the road.
2 minutes up the road, you drive into these beautiful fields, and you see the bright red building, Perazzi, just what you've seen in the pictures, and it just stands out like a sore thumb. Bright red building. The escarpment straight up in front of it is where they quarry all the marble. It's a beautiful, picturesque place.
Wow.
So yeah, it was when we got there, they were super welcoming.
I was going to say, how did they welcome you?
Oh, mate, they were unreal. From reception, she was just run off her feet, like on the phone. She was trying to organise this person. They had it down to a T.
Yep.
Wow.
It was a well-oiled machine. All the big important people, Mauro, Fabrizio, they all came out and greeted us and said, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. Make yourself a coffee, get this sorted, get that sorted." Trev and I were stuck in the showroom for the next hour. We were just
Dribbling.
Because I've seen their showroom online. It is an impressive.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty amazing.
Impressive.
Yep.
Like, I think our showroom's pretty impressive here.
Yep.
But this thing is huge, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And you're looking at sets of guns that are worth over $1 million, and you sort of rack after rack after rack of them, and it's like, wow, it's
and you weren't the only guys there. There were some other distributors from around the world.
So Gunsmiths and distributors, what they were, they basically had their service department for each one of these. So the UK representatives, the US representatives, and they were there, and they thought, well, we're going to put this on. We're going to certify some gunsmiths, international gunsmiths. So they basically gathered the best of the best and pulled us all together and did it as one package. And they were really great guys. We made some really good friends amongst those guys. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
Like, what's the first thing that sort of struck you, by the way, how they build their shotguns?
I thought there was going to be, because I've done this a couple of times, different international manufacturers and some pretty high quality gear as well. They built things to a specification that I've never seen before. It's absolute precision.
Everything's hand fitted, though, isn't it?
Everything's hand fitted,
tailor made to the user, and a lot of their parts. I mean, sure, like a lot of the guns you see in the room here, that you can buy parts over the counter for servicing purposes or whatever. Same with Perazzi, but you've got to hand fit and hand tune, and a lot of nearly every component in a Perazzi's got to be hand sort of fitted and tuned to each gun. Yeah. So,
and I guess that for both you and Trev and Keith, what would be one detail within that armory or that process that you'll just never forget seeing?
I think the people, to be honest with you, and the way the factory's set out. We're talking, this day and age where a lot of companies are focusing on turnover, getting numbers of shotguns out the door. So we're talking about machinery and sort of processes taking people out of it to sort of cut costs. Perazzi is all about the people and the artisans involved with tailor making a shotgun to yourself. So watching all those people come together from the process of selecting your timber to then all the way through to getting a tailor-made shotgun is just amazing. To see that craftsmanship still out there in a factory process is something amazing.
In a day of CNC machines
Correct.
and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
It's good that they're maintaining that heritage of theirs, you know what I mean? Did you see much in the way of stocks? Let's face it, when it comes to a shotgun, a stock, everyone looks at it and says, wow, that's pretty, that's nice. Is there a bit of a process? How do they get them? Do you see them in a wall along and you can go through and you can pick one out, or?
They've got a huge timber room. Their timber room would be bigger than this showroom here.
Wow.
And it has racks upon racks of selected grades. So you'll walk into the standard grade and then you'll go to the MX2000 grade and then the SC2, SC3, SCO. And then you go into the little back room, which is all their presentation grade timber. And it's walking from aisle to aisle, you see some spectacular timber. I left Trev at the workbench for a morning and went and selected all of our blanks for all the guns we have on order.
Yep. Wow.
So you're going to see some just some amazing timber on Australian Perazzis going forward.
So you're telling me that Australian Perazzis handpicked by Keith Grundy?
Correct. Yep.
Look, I think some of these, talking to the UK guys and the Spanish guys, they're kind of spoiled that they're only a couple of hours away from the factory. Yeah. They have the opportunity to do this, and it's not a monumental effort like Trev and I heading over there. It was a good opportunity, and I thought I'm going to take full advantage of it, so I'm going to get the best guns that we can possibly get, or best presented guns with timber for the Australian market. So I took the time and did that. And you know what? I didn't want to leave that timber room. I was just like kid in a candy shop.
Wow.
It was, there's some awesome stuff. Amazing. Yeah.
And there's not one piece of timber that's the same. No. And from the way that they hand select the timber, from the purchasing standpoint to what you see in the timber room, it's, an amazing process. And, not one piece, as we said, is the same. It's pretty cool.
And they take you out to lunch?
Oh, God. I'm still recovering.
I don't mind my tucker, but even I had to almost tap out a couple of times.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
Tiramisu, Trev.
Yeah. You can't say no.
Oh, it should probably cross over. Digital Josh, have we got any more feedback on our message bank? Oh, get line 2.
Ciao, Trevor. It's Maria. I got your number from Signor Keith Grundy.
Oh.
I know you like my restaurant. You like the food I cook for you. I know you like my tiramisu.
Hello.
I like your beard. I like a man that knows how to eat. Give me a call.
Yes.
Oh,
Maria.
Maria. Wow. What an experience that was.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there any other messages left there, Digital Josh?
Hello, Trevor.
Oh.
It's me,
Yeah.
Helen, your partner. Remember me? Not happy, Trevor.
So, Helen, what's your spaghetti bolognese like?
She uses the dolmio.
In all fairness, I did say we were going fishing, not to Italy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen, what part of the whole gun making process, I think, what bits really stood out for you? Was it everything in toto, or was it, particular parts that really, really appealed to you?
Look, I think so. That, unlike most other manufacturers, where you've got one person that's capable of doing this, and this, there's really only one or two people that oversee every facet of that gun's production or its life. As it's built. They're really specialised. So there's a team of guys that work on putting the barrels together, that solder the ribs together. I was fascinated to see that they don't have a pre-made top rib or side ribs on these guns. So they're put on the gun as a solid block of steel, and then they're machined on as part of a complete barrel set. They're machined with the design that they have. So the forward-leaning pillars on a high-tech or a concave cut through the rib for a vintage. And, that as much as we say that this is all handcrafted, these barrels are put together by hand, but then it's state-of-the-art CNC equipment that makes these final cuts on these sorts of things. So it's not as though this factory is without technology in machining, because they still produce the action there from a raw block of steel. And they machine that to a certain degree before they pass it on to the next guy who hand polishes this and does this and does this. So they go through various stages, but each area had its own perfectly skilled people that didn't venture over to the stock working or venture over to fitting a top lever or whatever. That was left to the next department. And they've done that for, some of these people have done it for the last 40, 50 years.
Wow.
That's what they do. The guy that we worked under, Roberto, who does all their servicing at events, probably knows more Olympic shooters than anyone else around town. This guy, quite a character, absolute gentleman, and a guru at what he does. Like there's nothing about that gun that he didn't know. Hey,
absolutely.
And he started, and I might get this story wrong because, it was broken English when he was sort of telling us, but he started at the age of 16 and NIOA Perazzi gave him a round block of steel and handed him a file and said, file that square. And, within a month or so, he finally got it done and handed it back to NIOA Perazzi and said, there you go, perfectly square, by a machinist square on every angle. And then NIOA gives him a block of emery cloth and said, righto, polish it now. And polished it to within, a hair's breadth. And once he'd done that, he'd basically, NIOA said, oh, yeah, okay, tipped his waste paper basket of all worn out emery cloth and took his new stuff off the shelf and said, righto, now turn it back the other way with worn out emery cloth. So once Roberto had finished that task, then NIOA Perazzi let him touch his first set of barrels to polish the flats. Like, this is probably the very entry level job. But he made sure he was in perfect control of that file and that emery cloth before he'd let him touch a gun.
Wow.
Like, it's a pretty cool story. And I don't know, Roberto's probably in his mid-40s now and, he's just an incredible gunsmith.
And can use a file.
Oh, God. Yeah. Blindfolded, that bloke could, He's
I thought I was pretty handy, but, working with Roberto there was truly amazing. Yeah.
So, Keithy, I know you do a bit of this here, but, mate, what did you learn about shotgun fit and why it matters so much? Yeah,
so I did, once again, left Trev at the workbench with Roberto and went and nicked off and talked to Fabrizio and Michele, who are their stock fitters. And those guys, I got a glove grip stock made so that I could offer that service here in Australia, how to fit a glove grip stock and what's the process they go through. Well, this guy just looked at me and just sort of sized me up and went over to the machine and did some adjustments and bang, that thing was just about spot on straight away. So just by looking at a person's length of neck, build in their cheeks, posture and what have you, these guys, they've got it so worked out, they could pretty much build a stock straight off without you mounting the gun. I learned a few tricks from them. It's not too far different from the way I already fit stocks, but I like to be able to translate that on paper. When we order a stock from Perazzi now, they're going to know exactly what I mean when I put these numbers in this position and when I do this here and there. So, but yeah, their stock fitting, like, those guys are just incredible as well. As good as what the metal workers are on the timber side of things. It's pretty unique.
And I think that's probably one thing worth mentioning, Brad, with Keith as our Perazzi sales manager now and having that expertise that he's also brought through him from being, our chief armourer here at NIOA. It's all part of this now Perazzi experience.
We just want to offer a showcase here in Australia. As Keith and Trev both said, getting to Italy is not easy from here. It's a long way and you've really got to make a point of going there. But, we thought, well, what can we do here in Australia to bring a bit of Italy to the shooters here in Australia? And how do we offer, some customised, personalised service, much like the guys got over there? How do we offer that to our customers here in Australia? So, we've sort of looked at the Perazzi experience here at NIOA and probably let Keith touch on a bit more. He's done a few of them now and, they seem to be working very well.
So, Keith, if I want to buy a new Perazzi in Australia, what do I do?
First step would be to get yourself to our headquarters here at Brizzy Airport. But what I do is basically we'll do a facility tour and then after the facility tour we go up to the gun room where we are here now. And we'll do some stock fitting. If the customer already has stock dimensions, great. Or if they've got their gun that they're shooting well, fantastic. We can bring that, put it on our stock measuring jig. We can get those dimensions. We set one of our tri guns. And once we've got that gun feeling comfortable and the customer's happy with the balance and the feel of our tri gun, we head down to the local club. And we've got a couple of options here. So We use the local facilities. We go down to those clubs, whether it's sporting clays or, you know, down the line or trench or whatever it may be, whatever discipline it is. And we'll go and shoot a few targets and get a feel for that gun, see where the gun's patterning, work things out. We can manipulate that stock a little bit more. And we'll go through the dynamics and the feel of the gun, you know, what the gun's doing, how we can manipulate that, that dynamic balance of the gun to get it rearward, get it forward, get it faster, get it slower. And then once we've decided how we want to build the gun, we select the model and we've got all of our stock dimensions from then. Pop the customer back on the plane and send them home, hopefully with a big grin on their dial.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's how long have we been doing this for now for Perazzi?
May 1 effectively, but by the time we've got ourselves up and running, probably the last couple of months, we've offered that Perazzi experience to consumers. So, a lot of people keen to experience that sort of
for sure
technical expertise.
Yeah, I think it's not just the technical expertise. They're really starting to experience that part of that craftsmanship, that edge. But in terms of these are high-end guns,
exactly.
And they're high-end customers that are wanting to get these guns.
They always reference themselves to like a Ferrari. I don't think that does Perazzi justice. I think because it is such a tailored weapon, these guns win gold medals. And to have that experience where you can have a firearm that's winning gold medals, tailor fit you, and the experience that goes with it in selecting your timbers and what discipline you're shooting in, and to have something roll off the line it is one of a kind. So what you have made for you is
as individual as you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is quite the experience. I think, calling themselves like a Ferrari type situation is doing them an injustice. I think it is much more of an experience than that.
I've been trying not to cough all over.
Have a drink, mate. Don't have a drink, mate. Come on.
I thought,
come on, mate. That's all right. Yeah. I don't know. That cough didn't sound too good.
Right.
Digital Josh, have we got any message? We got one? Oh.
Yes, Brad. This is Dr. Lynchmick from the Lakeside Clinic. We have the results from your recent cholesterol check. Unfortunately, your levels are less bloodstream and more cheese. We've run your numbers through our system and our printer jammed. That was so bad. In relation to the rash, I don't want to alarm you, but our dermatology intern saw the picture and subsequently resigned. I can honestly say, in my 22-year career, I have never seen anything like it. It's red, it's angry, and quite frankly, Brad Johnson, I think it's plotting something. Anyway, give me a call back. We will need to do more tests.
Who is that phony?
Good Lord.
Who is that phony? Do you know why I know that's wrong?
Why?
Because I haven't gone to a doctor in years.
Someone's seen the rash, Brad.
I was going to say, why'd you give the doctor this number?
I don't know what happened. But Nancy, surely there's got to be one more, hasn't there?
Have we?
Let's just listen to this one.
Oh.
Just came through yesterday.
Uh-oh.
G'day, Matt. It's Jono from Shenanigans Pub up in Darwin. Just giving you a ring about this year's Top End Arm Wrestling Championship happening in November. We've reviewed some security footage from your visit last year, and after some careful consideration and several staff therapy sessions, we've decided you'd be perfect for this year's Seniors Division. Now, before you get too excited, we noticed last time you were here, you were wearing what can only be described as a distressing grey singlet. Distressing as in it looked like it had done 2 tours of Vietnam and 1 at schooling. Mate, I don't know if that was a fashion statement or a cry for help, but our dress code committee has since banned all sleeveless items made before 2003, as well as any clothing that might cause visible distress to bystanders. Yeah. The loss of patronage from that night is something we're still trying to recover from. One bloke said he's seen cyclones with less devastation. Frankly, there's not enough dead owl in the Northern Territory to scrub that image out of our minds. Anyway, Your first round opponent is a guy from Sydney known only as the original JD, and he has specifically requested you in the first round. Looking forward to seeing you next month.
You've been marked.
I have been marked.
Yeah. I reckon I know JD.
I reckon I know the original.
The original JD.
I reckon I know the original JD.
There's been an imposter since. I think.
Could I just say that it was distressing?
I It was distressing, let me tell you.
Anyway, that's enough. We'll move on.
Thank you. That's for the next episode, that one.
Okay. Well, listen, I just want to say, don't forget, Keith does have some Perazzi catalogues. I also want to mention just quickly that the NIOA magazine is out now, Brad.
It is. In all good gun shops.
All good gun shops. Make sure you get a copy. It's got Keith here on the cover, and it also talks a little bit more about the Perazzi experience. So please get in there. It's absolutely free. So if your gun dealer tries to charge you for it, just take it, walk out the store.
Run.
Just see what happens.
Run.
All right. Listen, as part of this whole Perazzi thing, Keith, you've got quite the vision in terms of servicing Perazzi owners at the moment. You know, so we're looking at doing a few things around different clubs and different events on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, we're in the process now, as you know, because you're doing the marketing side of things for the
be about the only bit of work he's done this week.
There you go. Come on.
For the Perazzi truck. So we've got this beautiful Volvo gull wing truck. So we're converting that into our mobile showroom / workshop. And we're going to be attending the larger events, you know, whatever Trev and I can get to. And that's probably what it what it comes down to is our availability, the truck's availability and that sort of thing, so that we can get to these larger events and service Perazzi shotguns in Australia free of charge.
So you're going to be able to service them free of charge wow. Okay, so you guys are going to drive to these events, get out the showroom. Can you buy guns there?
Well, look, we will have try guns on the truck, so we can do that somewhat limited fitting of a shotgun at these events, and the consumer can go out and try these guns. I think that's important. You really, you know, these aren't entry-level guns, so you really want to try before you buy. And that's generally the clincher as well. Once you feel the way these things move, it's kind of, you know, you're halfway there already. But yeah, free servicing is the first time in Australia for this brand. And I think it's going to be a really big draw card. The guns aren't cheap to service, and we don't expect we're going to be able to put huge volumes of gun through the truck per day, because generally I'm going to be working on the sales and the fitting side of things. Trev will be behind the jump, you know, doing the adjustments and doing the servicing. If we're lucky enough, both of us will be in there doing some gunsmithing. I
was just going to say there, Keith, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
would it be nearly worth people who are planning to attend those events to maybe contact you prior?
Yeah, look, I think
to sort of see,
and I have suggested it to people that you know, we're making aware.
Bit of a booking schedule.
We'll make a list, and it's kind of between shoots as well. You know, if we've got this fella's in squad 13 and squad 1's just gone out.
Gotcha.
We've got to work out our time frames and what we can do to their gun, you know, before it gets out and shoots. We're still waiting on a lot of spare parts from Perazzi, a lot of merchandise and that sort of thing. So these pieces are all coming together, and I expect it's going to evolve into something a lot larger than what it is now. But it all adds to this Perazzi experience. This is why you buy one of these, you know, top tier shotguns. You've got the support, you've got the precise fitting, you've got the backup to these as well, which, you know, in the past it's always been a great brand in Australia. I just think the representation's going to get bigger and that support network's going to get bigger. So hopefully it brings in some more customer base.
So, Trev, why do you think it's important that customers actually experience, you know, Perazzi firsthand? No?
I think Perazzi's vision as well and what Keith just touched on about looking after the consumers here in Australia, having Keith and myself not brought up to their speed, obviously, but having an insight as to the passion, the people and the drive of Perazzi is important to the service that we can provide moving forward. So it was important to us to see and sort of take on a little bit that Perazzi wanted to share in regards to their vision. And obviously Keith and I sort of hope to generate that and build that here in Australia. And I guess that's why they bought a couple of gunsmiths from around the world as well together, so that they can make sure that passion and vision is sort of distributed evenly throughout
around the world.
Correct. Yeah. So.
I can honestly say no one has gone home unhappy.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You know, it's certainly an experience. And if you are in the market for a high-end shotgun, yeah, even if you're a C-grade shooter, don't let that stop you. I'm a C-grade shooter.
Well, I think that's probably being generous, but anyway.
I beat you. When was the last time you beat me? If I'm C-grade, what are you?
Just let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep trucking. But yeah, like it's just nice to own something, you know, a nice shotgun. You know, a lot of people spend a lot of money on nice cars. This is no different. If you really like the craftsmanship and the quality of something nice, by all means, should look into this.
And it's not only that you're spending your hard-earned money on a firearm like that you've now got the service with
100%.
with
You've got
NIOA
everything to back it up.
It's not just fit apart. Yep, that works. It's very much trigger weights are perfect. The feel of that trigger has to feel like a Perazzi trigger. You know, it's
fit and finish.
The fit and finish is next level. So, you know what, I'm really, really looking forward to giving their customer back their 5-year-old gun that's fired 20,000 rounds and them go, wow, that feels like brand new again. And I think it's super achievable. The amount of parts that we've got coming in and the service now that we're able to give, I think we're going to have some pretty happy customers at the end of the day.
I think I speak for myself. I was trying to sort of mix in with Roberto and the team to try and get soak up as much as I could for the time I was there, because, you know, just the sheer passion that these people have for their firearms was, and their craftsmanship. Like to see someone that does the engraving freehand.
I was going to ask you about that. That's
checkering too.
Yeah,
checkering.
So with the engraving, a gentleman there has been doing it for a long time. There's no stencil work. Basically looks at a catalogue. That's the engraving that you want. Great. And then just goes to work and bangs it out time and time again.
Wow. And, you know, with engraving, sorry again, just to interrupt you, you're not limited really in engraving. I've heard of people sending photos of their dogs and getting their dogs engraved onto their shotguns.
No, and like Trev said, this guy would just look at a picture and then spin this gun around on the vise and tick, 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 start chipping away at it.
And then reference it from time to time, but that's about it. There's no like blue line stencil that they put down to give them a guideline. It's just a blank piece of steel and he just lets loose on it.
Just artists.
Same with the checkering in the stocks.
That was scary to watch, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't do it. But just to see the ladies with the checkering just by hand, just
and by all reports, they're not going slow.
No, it's quite a thing to see.
Now, there's two ladies doing the checkering, and you know, that's all they do. But this is not, it's not a stencil to make the outline and, you know, the shape of this checkering for an MX8. The checkering, if you compare one to the next right beside each other, they're all slightly different. And it's because they're literally free-handed. They're popped in this soft jaw vise and she just zip with the edging tool and then just starts cutting away. And this isn't your run-of-the-mill checkering. This isn't sort of 16 lines an inch. This is 26 lines an inch. It is damn fine checkering. And
you'd swear a machine has done it.
Oh, yeah. And you just look at the gear coming off the stock, like falling on the floor. It's like, wow.
And you've seen how much those stocks are.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They're in a semi-finished state when they're doing the checkering. Wow. So it's
mind-blowing to watch those ladies at work. Like that's next level.
You'd be terrified to be the work experience kid, wouldn't you?
Exactly. So in saying that though, Keith, is there an opportunity if somebody was to buy a Perazzi shotgun from us and they were happening to visit, just happened to visit Italy, could they attend and have a look and choose their own wood or things like that?
Absolutely. And you know what? I would so much encourage that because we saw people come in day after day, families and, you know, all various people, whether they be Olympic competitors or, you know, amateur level or families or whatever, coming in and having their stocks, like going through the stock room, selecting their timber. Usually what they'll do is before they get to that process is they will commit to a gun. The gun will go through the process of being made. Mm-hmm. So I want this barrel length, I want this choke, I want this style of engraving. And once the metal work is complete, then head over to Italy, take the family, do whatever you want. Perazzi will invite you in with open arms.
Choose your stock, choose your wood, just get that final fitting right.
Yep. And
Fantastic.
there was, there were guys there, I think they were from Poland, that the guy had come in that morning. Yep. He'd selected his stock. It was cut out for him. Like the guys were literally cutting the stock by hand. They would have that stock fitted by the afternoon. He'd go into their range, shoot it, go, yep, that's beautiful. It was finished, checkered. He does a final fit and, okay, that's it, job's done. They'll go through the completing process, whether that be a varnished finish or an oil finished, and then they'll send it to their dealer in Poland. But that guy literally spent probably a day there at Perazzi. And I think he might have been a bit jet lagged like us, like he was snoozing on the couch in the showroom. Yeah. And he was done and dusted. He'd selected his stock. He had it perfectly fitted to him.
But you had the similar experience, Keith, with the glove grip.
Yeah.
So you went from...
Didn't snooze on the couch.
No, well, not that I saw anyway, but you went from having, I guess a selected piece of timber to a pretty awesome fitting gun in a day?
Yeah, in a day. So it was selected in the afternoon, and by midday the next day, I shot that in the range.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing process to see these guys just form that piece of wood into something that, and quite literally a glove. Just stunning. It's something else. So, yeah, I would absolutely encourage people to do that and take advantage of their hospitality. Go out to lunch because they put it on at lunch.
Lunch, dinner.
Now,
lunch was the best.
I did hear that there was some meat that was laid out for people and someone didn't know what it was. What was it, Trev?
That would be horse, Matt. Yeah. So for 3 days, I think I ate a particular dish and I was like, oh, that's quite nice. Give me some more of that.
Yeah, I ate a fair bit of that dish.
Come back the next day. Can we get that same one from last night? Yeah.
They put it in front of me, and I think the owner said, "Oh,
you like it?
There's more horse coming out," and I've gone, "Wait, what?" And it turns out it's a local delicacy, but yeah, we ate horse. I didn't go on day 4 for more horse, but anyway,
yep,
yeah, I had a fill of it.
Yeah, you fill of horse.
Yeah.
Fill of horse by day 3.
Bit long in the face, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Look, Keith, for people that don't know, here in Australia, Perazzi has been in Australia for a while, but NIOA is really lifting its profile. It's getting out there. Take us through the basic range of Perazzi shotguns that are available.
We have a range of MX series, so MX8, MX12, in the standard configuration in both nickel and blued receivers. We have MX2000s. We've got quite a few MX2000s coming. We've got them with 3-position ribs. We've got them in trap configurations. We've got them in sporting configurations, various barrel lengths, various choking configurations. So now the MX2000 is that starting point of the hand engraving. And we've tarted them up a bit. The possibilities for these guns are endless. We've got a huge range of high-tech guns. It's their newer model with the wider receiver, puts a little bit more weight back at between your hands, helps balance that gun. We've got high-tech trap guns. We've got high-tech S-Sporters. We've got sort of a big list of guns on their way from Perazzi. They only produced 7 guns a day.
7 guns a day is very unique, isn't it?
It's very unique.
So when you decide to buy one, you're getting something very rare, aren't you?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them out there then.
Well, I had a customer in just last week. He has reduced his gun safe, trying to sort of work in better with his state's gun laws. He's reduced 11 guns out of his safe and he's replacing it with one Perazzi. So he says, well, you know what? I'm not using them all. I can only use one at a time. So I'm going to treat myself to have the ultimate gun, the gun that I've always wanted. I'm going to have it custom fit to me and I'm going to have it custom made to exactly
and can be
how I
passed
want it.
down through generations forever.
Not only that, you're seeing a lot of partners also coming in for the experience as well. So not only is the husband or the male shooter enjoying the sport, you've got, because of the experience and what we can do in regards to the fitting and the service side of it with Perazzi here at NIOA, a lot of partners are getting involved and getting into the sport. So not only is it now just the husband going off having a few beers and shooting a few clays, now the partner's getting involved as well, which is
great, isn't it?
I don't know whether they're coming in here just to monitor how much the husband spends on the gun as well.
Well, it could be a bit of it. I know I'd be in trouble. But,
Look, Keith, what is the first step? I want to get a Perazzi. What do I do?
Give me a call. Or email me at perazzi@niia.com.au. I can get a catalogue out. We can go through what this gun's going to offer for you, what we can offer to support this gun and the sale. Just have a chat about it. See whether it really ticks all the boxes for you.
Now, I think it's this Wednesday. So this podcast will have definitely gone out, but we will have a website live. We hope to have it out. I believe it's www.perazziau.com.au. So again, that's perazziau.com.au. Get on there. We'll have the events that Keith and Trev are going to be at. You can find all the different models and makes that are available now, I think, Brad.
I think there's a configurator, but that's right. We've got images and details of the guns we're carrying in our showroom for sale right now. But there's also a configurator, I think, too, where we tap into the Italian website so that people can have a look, play around, see which one they think best suits them.
Build your ultimate gun.
100%.
Yep. But please make sure that you check that out, perazziau.com.au, because that's your first portal step to, get in and have a look at what's available. And you can just see the quality of these guns and what you can do in that configurator. But the next thing that you got to do is definitely get in touch with Keithy, because Keith will look after you and step you through that entire process. Because, look, it can be that daunting. And the one thing I like about Keithy is very patient and, nothing is too much trouble. So if you are after that high-end shotgun that you have always wanted, give Keith a call, because he can take you through every single step of the way to get you something that you are incredibly happy with. And like Brad said, not only lasts a lifetime, but it becomes like an heirloom.
It does. Yeah.
Well, thanks, fellas, for giving us a little bit of flavour of your trip to Italy. Definitely a standout highlight for the career.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's incredible. We look forward to seeing you next time on the NIOA Unloaded Podcast.